The countdown is on.
Wait for that confirmation from YouTube. Now you're technically live.
Thank you, YouTube, for allowing me to have this space to go live, which now we are going to do on Wednesdays at 2 p.m., and we are going to talk all about One Piece. I just want to say welcome to everyone that is in the live right now, and welcome to everyone who's going to watch this live later. My name is Nicole. I am the narrator. My life, my dreams, my story in the One Piece world. I'm head over heels for everything. The story, the characters, the cards, the merchandise. I am very, very blessed to be able to present all the things here on this channel, as well as hit all the other social media channels to be able to connect with everybody in the One Piece community, talk about everything and anything that we want to. It's always very laid back and organic here. I always like to start just a little bit of the conversation off and introduce to you special guests as I have them come and join me for these conversations. So please welcome back to the show, Jimmy.
Hello.
Thank you very much for being here. God bless you, by the way. Behind the camera is our navigator of the YouTube and social media world and live streams, Mr. Devin Merchant from Ghost on the Aux.
Yeah, I had something in my throat there. Sorry.
Yo, it's okay. You always get a little froggy before you do some of these live streams and start to talk a lot. I do a lot of talking, but it seems to work for me because I love to get gushy and have a lot of fun and start conversations. And I love to talk about One Piece. That was the point of this show. We were talking about Skypiea, the beginning of it, the first couple of episodes when you first got here.
Right.
We covered a lot.
We covered a good amount, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we even went past the first 10 episodes.
We did.
And when I went back to look at the episodes again, and I started to, follow Monkey D at the part of the show where he was, they were getting into the Lost Forest and going into the ordeals, spheres, and we talked about like the different choices that there were, string and this and that. And as I was going back again to watch the episodes, I was like, for a minute, I'm so far ahead in like episode 1016 or 17, Land of Wano, Kaido, Monkey D, Luffy, the epic first punch again. It would brought back the feeling of that first land on Arlong.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was a little, I don't want to use the word bored, but I felt lazy. I didn't want to go back and watch them yet. Like I felt like I didn't want to continue to watch them and talk about them again just yet. There's so many great characters. It's such a great place. But then when I remembered our conversation originally, I felt like we touched on so much about it. Started to think about it again. Sky Island. Religion came into mind. Spirituality came into mind. I started to think about, everybody's connection and that coming of age. I started to think about where I'm at now in the show. And then as my brain started to go into its own little paralysis analysis on trying to think of all the things that we've talked about and some of the things that other people have talked about, without getting spoiler alerts, I'm in the moment. I love the reveals on everything. I'm not, super knowledge about have everything yet. I'm still a newbie in it. But I knew that you wanted to talk about some theories. So I thought I would surprise everybody with this particular talk for today. When you start to think about, God, and you start to think about, clouds in the sky and heaven and blissfulness and wonderful, you start to think about love. And I really wanted to touch on love because you guys are both beautiful, good-looking young men. And I know that everybody that's out there that's searching for love and searching for relationship in their life is always out there looking for like the dream, person to be with. And I've been very lucky and very blessed. I am taken, just in case some of the audience members do want to know that. But I do want to say that one of the things I wanted to say it again. Unfortunate. Well, no, not yet. Not really, because maybe there's things that we have to learn and maybe things we have to experience before the world or the universe or a certain group or entity brings that person into your life. And I always like to think there's somebody for everybody. So that person is on their way to you the same way you're on your way to them. And they're going as fast as they can. you know, so they're in the moment of whatever they're going through in the moment as well. And I know that a lot of you are feeling that out there, as you know, as well. For One Piece people, and a lot of the One Piece people that I've been meeting, when I do meet a young person who is single, and they meet me, I meet them and start to talk to them about if they're seeing anybody or not, they're always like, man, the dream is to find somebody that loves One Piece and anime as much as me. Like, that's the dream. Like, you're into the cards and playing and anime, and you love the show as much as I do. That's like a super instant immediate bond and connection. But one of the things that I know a lot of fans out there are making theories about is who might end up with who if they were going to end up with anybody, and what team are you on? And I mean, like, for instance, are you for Monkey D. Luffy, are you a team Nami? Or are you a team Boa Hancock? Like, what do you think? Now, we know
touchy topic.
it is a touchy topic, but you know, tell everybody, Oda did not write relationships like that into the show or into the manga.
He has specified that it's not his main focus. If it happens, supposedly, if it happens, it happens. It's not like I'm gonna say it can happen, but you know, Oda's just good at what he does.
Yeah.
And like a lot of popular manga didn't really do that, and they would write themselves into corners at times.
Okay.
So I'm just saying that, like, if he were to write himself into a predicament where it could happen, then it happens. But it's not something he's gonna, like, what is it?
Go out of his way to design.
Yeah, he's not gonna, like...
He's not having that kind of...
purposefully do it.
Okay. But we know that there's a lot of speculation out there as to who we think has a connection with who. So I'm just curious to know, if we go down the list of Straw Hats, who do you guys think, fans that are out there? I'm throwing this back out onto you too, so comment and subscribe and like and join us in this conversation. But I also wanted to find out, you know, who's Jimmy, who are Jimmy's picks? So if you had to pick for Monkey D. Luffy, and you want him to be with someone, who would it be?
I need a graphic that's like made to come on screen like a sports show. It's Jimmy's picks.
Nami, picture of Boa.
So...
Or is there a third option?
No, there's really not.
There's...
But... So
he only has two choices.
With how shipping wars are, just let it be known, it's an opinion. Because some people kind of... Some communities go a little feral for like just talking about it.
I know.
This is very true.
Yes.
Just letting everyone know it's an opinion. I personally like look behind the facts behind the stuff, but obviously there is personal bias.
Okay.
In some. So me personally, I think Luffy will get with Boa, but that's because of how impactful Toriyama was, right? The creator of Dragon Ball. If you have seen Dragon Ball and like a lot of Toriyama's like old work on Dragon Ball,
okay,
Oda probably looks up to that man more than anybody in his life. And he's put so many like
of those
homages in One Piece towards Dragon Ball. Like, you haven't gotten to it yet.
Yeah.
But...
Well, I have a different reason for my theory than what your research probably is.
Yeah. But anyways, I don't think you've gotten to it yet in the anime. Okay. But it has to deal with
10-16. I'm on 10-16.
Yeah, it's a little further. It's not like a crazy spoiler. It's just like, you know Odin's whole story already. Right. And it's like Odin hanging out with his kids. Mm-hmm. But it's literally the same, like, you know how like there's like the midway like eye catcher moments in the episode. So literally Oda did with Odin and like his kids with what Toriyama did in the original Dragon Ball with like Hiyori spinning whatever she was spinning on the umbrella. Okay. And so Oda really looks up to Toriyama. And the thing is, with how Boa is and how Luffy is, it's the very exact dynamic
about to say
Goku and Chi-Chi.
This is about to make me say, I was about to say, like, there would be a Vegeta type character that would get with Nami. And then, and Luffy is going to be the one to get with Boa because of that because I've seen Dragon Ball enough to know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
so do we have a theory then as to who Nami's going to get with?
Nami, not really. Like,
who's a Vegeta-like character?
Vegeta-like Zoro. Zoro's like
true,
and then his English VA is literally Vegeta. It's just that Zoro's just like, I got this ego, and I just gotta lock in every time. Like that's my whole thing.
Yeah.
Except he doesn't have an ego where like it's annoying like Vegeta, where it's just like that's his whole life, and if he loses, he's gonna be mad about it, and it's just like, I mean, Zoro would also be mad if he ever lost.
Vegeta is egomaniacal. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
Zoro is just ego.
Yeah, like Vegeta's just like his whole life is, I was born this way, and I gotta live up to that.
Okay. All right.
I would say it is a very similar Zoro mentality, because the way Zoro feels about Mihawk and how he's like, I'm not losing again until I beat Mihawk, that's kind of like how Vegeta literally is to Goku.
All right.
But anyways.
Speaking of that too, because Mihawk comes into play with Zoro, and whether or not Perona is with Mihawk or is going to get with Zoro or did get with Zoro, or people maybe want him to get with her.
It is a very...
But then there's Tashigi.
There is Tashigi.
She's like forbidden fruit because, you know, she's a Marine.
I am just personal bias. I think Tashigi will get with Zoro. And that Perona will get with Mihawk. Just because Perona spends way too much time with Mihawk.
Yeah, she's just fun. I saw people dressed up in cosplay on some of the videos that I watched that go by, and her character was walking down the street, and so was he, like either behind her or it was vice versa. He was walking and she was skipping down the street behind him.
Yeah, so yeah, the whole it's like the whole bodyguard trend going on.
Yeah.
But
well, he is basically.
I mean, he is
swordsman.
There's also theories on Mihawk that I just don't want to get into it. How?
All right. Well, we're going to focus on the Straw Hat crew for today.
Yeah.
So we've heard the opinion. Well, we've heard opinions. We've made that clear. Jimmy has only an opinion. We've heard about Monkey D. Luffy, a little about Nami, and a little bit about Zoro. That brings me, of course, to your favorite character, Sanji. Sanji has had multiple girls come in and out of his life. So, what are your picks? What are Jimmy's picks for
My
Sanji?
personal bias is that I wanted him to get with Pudding.
Ooh, okay.
That's just because there was a lot more development with all of that.
Okay.
Than
anything
else he did.
Spoiler alert, they almost got hitched.
Yeah. You know.
If you're not there yet, it's a spoiler alert, but Pudding is definitely comes into Sanji's life. But so do some girls that are still contenders. Because what about Viola? She's a princess too, you know?
It's just that...
Back in Dressrosa.
I feel like, yes, there were girls that were interested in Sanji, but it was like during Whole Cake, during like the whole like cake making stuff.
Yeah.
Like Sanji...
His love is cooking food.
They were making cake, huh?
He was baking. Yeah, he was baking. he was making like this giant cake, and then
the wedding cake.
He was
Big
having
mama.
Like even though like all this family drama is happening, he's like having a good time being with Pudding.
Yeah.
Even though it's just like him, they're just like highlighting like
and she's freaking out.
Pudding sees like, yo, how could this guy be so nice?
She's having manic moments within herself.
She's having manic moments, and then Sanji's over here is just like, I just love cooking. But then he says it in a way where it's just like,
it's seductive for her. She's like,
it's just like, oh, you actually enjoy my company cooking with you and whatever.
Yeah.
But Sanji has these Riz moments where it's when it's not him like trying to talk to the girl, because
when he's not being like his.
There's a Wano moment that you'll see later. It's the exact same way. Where it's just like it's him raising up another girl because he's like talking like about something totally different.
Black Maria.
What about Black Maria?
What about Black Maria? Is she a contender with Sanji? No, not at all.
I don't think about
because you know she's got him in her webs right now. And she's quite pretty.
Oh, so that's
now, here's what I remember about Pudding and about Black Maria before I actually knew who the characters were. I had seen the cards. They were some of my favorite sparkly, shiny girl cards on the trading cards. I was like, dang, Charlotte Pudding, she's adorable, even with her third eye. And then I was like, oh man, Black Maria, look at the shiny sparkles on her pretty flowers on her hair. I was like, nice. Now I'm like knowing who the characters are. maybe a contender.
I don't know about that. Yeah, okay. Once you'll see, like, once you get a little further and see, like, all the fights happen, it'll be like, no, not really.
Okay, wait a minute. So I'm gonna bring another girl into the mix, but like, what about Princess Vivi?
Vivi.
What about Princess Vivi? Not an official Straw Hat member, but definitely a Straw Hat member to many of the fans and all of the Straw Hat crews. You know, even away.
My personal opinion.
Yeah.
Is that Vivi would just get with Nami.
Okay.
That's just my thing, because it's either Vivi would get with Nami or Nami just doesn't get with anybody.
Or, because my theory about the whole sibling thing is that, like, Monkey D. Luffy and Nami are sister and brother. Maybe Vivi is also somehow related via, and there's an extra sister.
Maybe? I don't know.
I don't know. Okay. That, all right. So so covering the
Shanks was out there getting around. He was a pirate, so
Shanks?
Yeah.
You say Shanks was in there getting around?
So Shanks, I have my takes on Shanks.
What are you thinking?
I think he got with Makino.
I agree.
I think it's just
a matter of time.
Too good to like. Yeah. I'll be honest. During film Red, when I saw the start of that backstory and I saw Shanks and Makino together, I teared up just because I love their dynamic. Yeah. But we just don't see anything. And then, I don't know if you've seen it. Have you seen Makino with a kid yet, or no?
Yes, I have seen her come in and out, like when she's flat, like when there's flashbacks, or whenever the towns are like getting word like, the intel of piracy is going on, you know, and they're like, oh, you know, and we know that kid, we knew that kid when.
Yeah, so I'm sitting there like, that's got to be Shanks' kid, bro. There's no way it's not. It's literally no way it's not.
Ooh, and then that would make Shanks an uncle to Monkey D, possibly, if we suspect that if Monkey D. Luffy's mom, because we talked about this around Mother's Day, if the mom is not a celestial dragon, right? Yeah. If she's not, then maybe she's Makino. And maybe Shanks is an uncle.
I think Makino's the mom.
Or father, but or came in as an uncle because maybe Makino got with Dragon.
I don't know. That's straying way off.
Okay.
That's straying way off.
All right, we don't want to go too far off into all of, you know, that kind of thing. But okay, so we've got 4 of the Straw Hats already. Okay, so here we go. How about Nico Robin?
Frankie.
Frankie?
Frankie.
For sure, Frankie?
For sure, Frankie. No other person.
Cyborg Frankie?
Yeah.
Cyborg Frankie?
Yeah.
Nico Robin and Cyborg Frankie?
Yep.
No.
What? Elaborate. I'm not gonna be
Jinbei?
like someone who gets mad about it. What about
Jinbei?
What about
Jinbei?
So you're saying
I think she's like all like
and Jinbei?
I'm saying Robin and Jinbei. I think she's like all like Jinbei is like this strong fishman that she seems to be archaeologically attracted to. I don't know if is that correct in saying that? Is that like a nerdy thing to say?
Archaeologically attracted to, then she would have had more interest in law.
All right, but Law's well, here's the thing about that, though. They're both really dry in personality for the most part.
But
they're
very
one sentence
really
and one
smart.
wordy. They are smarty pants, but...
So I just want to know about Chopper.
What about Chopper is going to be the nurse on Zoe, the squirrel lady.
Oh, yeah. She loves him.
But let me get into Frankie.
Let's talk about this Frankie and Nico Robin theory.
So
what?
A lot of times...
Any lives? Do we have any live watchers right now? Okay.
Them out. Anyways, Robin. Robin. Anytime, like, there's like very subtle things you got to look for.
Okay.
Before you get to like I mean, you don't have to look for them, but it's just like it makes the bigger stuff seem a lot more logical.
Okay.
So anytime Frankie is super passionate about something, like every other episode in Egghead right now, he's like freaking out over Vegapunk, right?
Well, of course, that's like an idol.
It's literally the smartest man on the planet. So it's just like, oh my god, Vegapunk. So he's sitting there geeking out.
Super.
Basically, every other time you see him, and Robin's just there smiling all the time. But also, they also went through the whole. Ennie's Lobby thing together.
True.
Like, they were kidnapped together. They both.
You think they bonded in that moment?
Yes, they both hold secrets to like bigger things. Like, Frankie knows how to build Pluton, and Robin just knows the whole the poneglyphs. So it's literally like they both are a part of something much bigger.
Okay.
And it's just they connect that way. And
All
then
right.
like in like some like random times, like their outfits will complement each other
Okay.
all the time.
Interesting.
When they're just kind of.
I'm gonna be looking for that now. I'm gonna be looking for matching outfits. So okay, so if that's your theory, then Jinbei.
Jinbei's too old.
Jinbei's too old?
Jinbei's just there to.
How?
He.
Doesn't he deserve a good time?
He gave up on his life. He gave up and then got his.
Someone out there needs to feel his strength.
Got his spark back, and he's just like, you know what? He's in it for world peace, and that's what he's in it for.
Okay.
I don't think he like cares about that. Like he's just like literally. You see Jinbei in these episodes now, like running around and stuff, and I'm sitting there like, damn, this dude's just babysitting these people. Like he
trying to be a part of the crew.
He was just rotting in this prison cell, and then he's just like, man, I was a part of like good crew. You know, I had these really strong friends, and then now he's like running around on some tomfoolery that's happening, and he's like, he's sitting there getting exhausted. Like, bro, like I can't be running around like this.
It's a new ghillie wig for Jinbei. He was not expecting this. I do realize that at times, even right now in Wano, he's running around as well in these episodes, and he's, you know, definitely reflecting like, wow, it does seem like you guys are a great and mighty crew. It looks as though your techniques are much different than what I'm used to, and it looks like you are all going in different directions. I will have to learn your ways to be a part and be accepted. And you're like, okay, this is looking like it's not going to work, but somehow it's all going to work in the end. So that's part of that. Okay, so
is him pointing out Zoro getting lost? Is that a point that comes up? Like him, like
everybody points out that Zoro's getting
I imagine
lost,
him being there for the first time, and that happens. He's like, "Is this part of the plan?" Like,
no, he just literally.
Is he scouting ahead?
He literally has no. It's not even no sense of direction. It's like no sense of like. Imagine like blinders on a horse, but like times 2. Like he'll be running. You can tell him to go to the other side of the room, and he'll walk out the other way. Like. Thinking he was going the right way. Like there's way more than just no.
He's on his own different compass. He's following a different compass. He is on he's going to the same place, but he's just taking a different route.
Basically.
Literally, that's the essence of that character. It's like, okay, yeah, I know I can be this place, but I'm just going to get there a different way. Might seem the harder way, might get lost along the way, might not know which way I'm going. Maybe I'll make it there, maybe I won't. That is literally
I was just
his
imagining what you're talking about with Jinbei, like learning their style, their quote unquote fighting style. Yeah. But him instead, like early on when he joins their group or whatever, Zoro gets lost, and he's probably thinking like, "Oh yeah, actually, really smart. He's scouting ahead to see what's coming up," and realize he's just gone
for sure. And now they're all to the point where they're like, okay, you do realize you have this problem, right? And they're like, you're just going to get lost. They all are trying to advise him, like, look. Yeah, well, here's the thing. Like Trafalgar Law, he's using it to his advantage. He's already, like, got the Straw Hats crew's little red wagon. He's got their MO. So he's now planning around that with some of these alliances. And the other pirates are starting to catch on to how their personalities are and how they work, too. So they're using those to their advantages. And, of course, everybody is playing their part because, as you know, in a lot of episodes, it all works out. But we had Devin bring up Chopper. Love interest for Chopper. I had forgotten about little pretty squirrel nurse. She's cute. Very cute. Do we remember her name?
I don't think I ever.
We're gonna have to search that out.
I don't want to see the creature that would come out of the two of them. A reindeer and a squirrel.
Could be really cute though. Could be adorable, and it's gonna have some human qualities too. Because even if she doesn't have, she had kind of human qualities too, didn't she? Is she a minx?
It's a minx.
She's a minx.
Minx are like a whole.
They're really powerful.
It's like a race of like animal people. Like they have like animal faces with like human like anatomy.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and they have special powers, but they even have even more special powers when the moon comes out and they look directly at it. They have this ridiculous like they glow electric, power, and they're Gohan wicked moment. Fast. Gohan, is that? Oh, okay. So you're talking about
it's not really a Gohan.
One piece, guys.
They don't turn into a giant monkey like Gohan.
Yeah.
They don't lose. I mean, they could lose control like that, but they mainly. Yeah, you kind of just lose control, and then you kind of have to like teach yourself to like master that transformation.
Power down.
I know this is not One Piece related, but one of these days we need to send you on a little side quest to watch a few other shows
so that I can know what everybody's talking about.
Yeah.
But it's more fun that I just stay focused on One Piece and gather up and learn as much as I can so I can be a professional and talk to everybody about it and be super knowledgeable. I'll know all the cards, all of the names, everything. I'll know everything. I'll just take it all in. You know,
I'm sure it'll help for knowing external references,
analogies,
True.
Analogies are.
But I'm leaving that up to you guys.
And the other things like how much
I
he
wing
looks
it
up
as
to
an
Toriyama.
entertainer. I ad-lib as an entertainer if you're not here. All right, so we've covered a few of the Straw Hat crew members, but we have a couple more to cover. So I'm going to jump right into Usopp.
Usopp is going to go with Kaya.
Yeah, like, so I think that's a no-brainer.
It's very given that he's going to
go back
to Syrup Village and marry Kaya.
Okay.
And tell his stories for the rest of his life.
In his old village to all the youngsters who'll listen to him and show off his skills, but of course...
this time he'll have real stories.
Another epic, huh?
This time he'll have real stories.
Yeah, this time he will have real stories. They'll just be overly exaggerated as only Usopp can do.
And they still won't believe him.
And we still
imagine.
I mean, bro's
jacked. Listen, I mean, his wanted posters are out there as well. You know, he's going to be a lot more believable now and go down in history. You know, Sniper King, and you know that's got its own song too. Sniper King, love that one as well. So moving right along, then Brook.
Brook is dead.
Brook is dead, but he still has bones.
He still has bones, but he's still dead.
See, the narrator is funny. I keep telling you guys, if we go down these roads, sometimes there's not going to be any stopping me. I have lots of puns and memes and funny things to say about relationships, and you know, sex. I'm just saying. We are literally dead in silence over here on Jimmy's end. He has no picks for
Bro picked the mic up, and I'm like, what's he about to say?
Nothing. I was waiting for you.
Oh, I was waiting for you. Yeah, Brooke's
I guess
dead.
Brooke's gonna be
I was gonna add on
to
the joke, but I was like, no, we're just gonna sit in this for a minute.
Yeah, Brooke's dead.
I know, but
He doesn't show, like, he just wants to get back to Laboon. That's his mission.
Okay, but I mean, after that, who would we like to see maybe that might be out there for Brook? Is there any other dead character or any other character that could possibly, you know, be there for Brook? Because Brook has skills. I mean, he's a musician. He's very sexy with the violin playing.
I get Glenn Quagmire vibes from him.
What's that?
I get Glenn Quagmire vibes from him, like from Family Guy. He'll just get with anybody.
From Family Guy.
Oh, from Family Guy. Yeah. One of those.
Yeah, he'll just hook up with anybody. He wants to see everybody's panties. He's just like,
yeah, that's kind of.
He's a free spirit.
Brooke. I have a theory. It's not really a theory. It's just like kind of a sad thing to think about if you really thought about it. It's just like Brooke's just gonna see all his crewmates die, and he's just gonna be alive alone.
Aww.
So, because I don't know Brooke's backstory, I'm not. Explain to me. Is he like immortal? Like what happened to him?
So he died.
Yeah.
And his soul ate a fruit.
Oh.
Don't ask me how, because some things don't make sense, like how a sword can eat a fruit.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ask why.
We've talked about that before. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So his soul found the revive fruit. And it brought him back as a skeleton, and now he's permanently alive.
The Walking Dead.
Like literally, but then
can he be killed?
Yes.
But he won't die naturally.
But he won't die naturally, but I'm pretty sure he can still die.
Okay.
Somehow. But each time there's been a moment where we thought he was going to, it's been like, yo, I'm back. Yeah, because I have no eyes, I have no nose, I have no...
He's like Deadpool, where he just kind of like...
No, I wouldn't say Deadpool.
No, let's not go Deadpool. I mean, that man is funny. Yeah. Funny.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's a different level of funny. Brooke is funny, but in a weird and...
Well, Deadpool is extremely hard to kill.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he's extremely hard to kill.
No.
So it's not on that level.
I feel like it's just like if you have enough hockey, you kind of just like nullify, like because he literally just got revived.
If you build different enough, you just keep going.
True.
Yeah, but who he's fighting is way more built different enough than like fighting Big Mom. Did no damage. he could have taken one hit from Big Mom and probably died right there. But he gains like more abilities later, which is cool.
Yeah.
Like, I thought, like, man, bro just is a swordsman, and that's it. Like Bro's fruit was just to bring yourself back to life. Like it has nothing else to it.
Yeah, but he does have all that sword power, and he has that spirit.
He's able to run on water,
and he's able to have like his whatever is left of his soul leave his body there.
Yeah, he was able to start like becoming like a summoner. And started like summoning his soul out of his body.
Yeah, so his soul can travel away from him to go find things and find people.
So
he
can astral project, basically.
Kind of.
Basically, yeah.
He has kind of like a stand.
I guess it would be like that,
okay.
yeah.
Or like a stand.
Yeah.
But you don't see it too much, but it's just like during Whole Cake, I think he had his whole like.
His fruit sounds more like a curse, except for like a couple of cool benefits you get.
Definitely.
Yeah, kind of, because you literally he came back to life with his afro. Like,
was there anybody on Thriller Bark that would be a matchup for Brooke? No. Like, could he go back to Thriller Bark where there was other, zombies and people of that sort, or any other, characters? What about that Cindy character?
Sindri?
Sindri or something like that. She was like she had like the stitching and the doll face or something.
Dancer,
the dancer.
Or the actor, whatever it was.
The actress, the really pretty actress.
Yeah.
Hogback took her apart, right?
Yes. I don't think... Or she has no emotions.
Oh. Okay. Well, so she has no emotions and Brooke has no other things, so maybe that could be like a thing. I don't know. All right, so what do you guys think? Fans, write it in the comments. Hey, just checking in. Do we have anybody that's watching us live? Okay, so this is going to be something that we're going to continue to experiment with. Again, thank you guys so much for subscribing and liking and following along. One Piece of Me is always such a great conversation with everybody that I have on the show. Jimmy is a wealth of information and, of course, a diehard fan like we all are here. And I just want to say thank you again for being on the show. Are we missing any Straw Hat character that we didn't talk about? Because we kind of talked about a couple of Straw Hats getting with each other, and so then that kind of covered a couple of the Straw Hats, but I'm wondering, did I miss anybody?
I don't think so.
We got Monkey. Yeah, we've got Zoro, Nami,
Usopp.
Sanji, Usopp, Chopper.
Yeah.
Frankie, Brooke, Jinbei.
Yeah.
That's it, right?
Man, the things Usopp could do with that nose.
From the gallery over there, from the galley over there, the peanut gallery. So what about okay, so here's a couple of other characters, just getting off of the topic of Straw Hats then, if we were going to talk about like different relationships and stuff like that. We've talked about like Perona with Mihawk and that whole situation. Are there any other characters that you think are out there? Like, what about Rebecca? Rebecca. The beautiful Rebecca. Who's she gonna be with? Who's she gonna marry? Nobody? Okay, we talked about Vivi and Nami, but what about if we went back, would we say maybe childhood friend Koza?
Oh, Koza.
Right? Isn't that a contender for Vivi?
I thought
they were childhood friends. I mean, it was still talking about. I jumped from Rebecca back to Vivi because when I was thinking about Rebecca, for a second I was like, who was in her childhood?
If she stays in Alabasta, then probably Koza. If she doesn't, then it's either nobody or Nami.
Okay. All right, so Rebecca. Are we back to Rebecca?
I can't think of anyone to get with Rebecca.
What about Bartolomeo?
Barto is more likely to get with Luffy than get with Rebecca.
Okay.
Like, he's literally, like, I see so much fan art of like Boa and Barto just like fighting each other.
Okay.
Just because it's just like, who's the bigger ride or die for Luffy?
Okay.
You guys don't realize when I edit these videos, when I look for material to add in pictures, how much very perverse art I find accidentally.
It's, again,
Bing really serves up the good fresh stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think that it being, like I said, a much more mature type of show, and of course with the way the characters are drawn and the way that they all look and how they are all, being presented in the show, it's very, very sexy. It's a lot of fun to see all the different development and see all the different personalities come out. And this type of conversation, of course, is a lot of fun to have as well. Devin, you look like you want to pop on the mic again and have another pop-in moment.
No, sorry. I was just going to comment that I'm done with my disruptive comments. I'm going to let you guys get back on track. with the actual topic of the stream.
I know the mind starts to wander, but that's okay. One of the things that's great about One Piece is it's all about, like I said, the adventure, living the dream. So a couple of other quick characters. I know that we still have some time on the live here. So what do you think about Sabo?
Sabo, he's going to go with Koala.
Okay. All right. That was kind of an easy one, I guess.
It's a very given that he'll go with Koala.
Okay. What about Nojiko? Nami's sister.
Nami's sister.
What do you think about Nojiko?
There's not much to her.
Okay.
Like there's.
Was there anybody back on the island there that you think might be a contender for Nami's sister? Who might play a part later?
Could you think of anyone on the island?
I'm not right this second. I was just wondering if your brain knew of any of them.
Literally nobody on that island except for the Pinwheel Man.
All right, so here's one. Buggy.
Nojiko and
Buggy the Clown.
I think Buggy would. I think.
Devin's hand just went up to his face like he still wants to go down roads
Buggy
that might not be
age
appropriate for lives, but.
Buggy has a better chance getting with Elvita than.
Okay. All right.
Than with. I don't even.
But how would that work? The smooth.
It's not about how it would work because. A lot of people just don't think Boa and Luffy will get together just because Luffy has no type of feelings for Boa that way.
Okay.
But it's just gonna be the Dragon Ball effect where dude just marries the girl because she wants it and he has no idea what he's doing. He's just doing it.
Okay.
I don't expect any romantic things to happen between Luffy and Boa. It's just it's gonna just happen.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So for Nicole, the analog with Goku and Chi-Chi. Goku is a very super badass, powerful, extreme fighter, but he has he does not understand women or romance or physical things. He doesn't even understand how he had a child.
Very, very similar to Goku.
He doesn't have any concept of that really.
Okay.
They just marry just because what's the reason?
I made a promise
because I'm king and
then
I have to have
I forgot the promise years later.
Oh. Here's what I was going to go back and say about what my reason is for feeling like it's going to be the Boa and Luffy, which I think is a little bit different. Maybe you guys have thought of this too, but when I was thinking about Oda and his writing and everything, and him sitting down to tell this story, I know we all have different reasons why we think he sat down. Somebody had asked me if I was to go back and actually tell my story in anime form, what might it look like in story form or anime form? And I thought, well, geez, I'm betting to myself it would probably be something very similar to what Oda sat down to do. I'm thinking on a timeline basis, what if it's part of that moment where, he gets knocked, by Kuma, and it's that moment where he's gone off to college or that area in his life where he's learning more and everything, and he meets that girl. And maybe that girl in real life was his wife. Maybe she came from a big, very overly dramatic, very, Asian and, overbearing family, had sisters, whatever the family was. Then he goes, maybe she was Gaga sending him letters, was totally, always there to help him as he went out and left, her behind and went out to have his adventures. And then now, coming all the way back around, maybe she's the girl, of course, that's been there for him the whole time while he's out, becoming a great artist. And now, this person is in his life and he marries her. And as we all know, the story for real Oda is, he's married, he has his children. So that was in my head where I thought maybe if I was going to write that moment, that would be where Oda was trying to tell everybody, look, I had this moment, got sent back, had all this experience and everything, sowed my wild oats through college, but then had to get serious with work and whatnot. And this is the girl that he winds up, later on getting with and getting to be with. Am I?
Uh-huh.
I love your reactions. It's so different from mine too, because I'm like, all this stuff.
I'm sorry to shut you down on that. You made it seem like Oda went through so much more to get in a relationship when in reality he was at an event and saw a random woman cosplayed as Nami and fell in love with that woman, and then they ended up getting together at some point.
Oh, see?
Yo, he manifested that.
Spoiler alert.
He manifested that. He created the character.
Fun fact, he loves his wife so much and how she was cosplayed as Nami. That's why almost every single woman in the show has the Nami Foundation.
Oh, I knew there was something out there like
Rebecca
that.
Rebecca just looks like Nami. That's why Vivi just looks like Nami.
Gotcha.
Yamato looks like Nami. All of these, there's like very few characters that don't look like Nami.
Jimmy, if you could make your life into an anime, what type of anime would it be?
If I can make my like,
we were talking about this.
Because I thought of an answer while you were talking.
My life so far, or like.
Or just at your autobiography of your life.
The autobiography of my life.
Like if you could make it whatever type of anime, that's my life.
Like based off what my life has been, what would it be?
Sure. So my answer, for example, is like I would do that slice of life comedy type anime. You know what I'm saying? Where it's just like the mundane.
I don't know what slice of life is, but it sounds
slice of life are animes, but it's like taking place like in real life.
Like and it's like following realistic characters. That's like this is literally a slice into their life.
Oh,
like and most romance animes are slice of life because it all happens in like high school.
Oh, okay.
But mine would be one of those like silly comedy ones because I would just like
so what you would want, not what it would be.
Yeah, what do you want it to be?
What would I want it to be?
Because I would make mine super hyperbolized, like really exaggerate stuff for the comedy.
I personally would rather
style.
have like an anime where like there's a power that is on equal footing with everything.
What does that mean?
Like a shonen anime, but like not something where like the main character is like unique.
Okay.
So like say I go into a world where there's like magic. It's just like you yourself put in the work for how well your magic is.
Gotcha.
And then it's just like you make a living doing that because it's.
You want to.
I feel like it's a simpler concept.
You want a power fantasy world, but not where you're like OP.
Yeah, kind of.
You're just one of the.
You can be
people.
OP depending on how hard you work.
You're not OP from the start.
You're not OP from the start because
you're not a chosen
unique latent ability.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's cool. Me though.
All right. See, all this stuff that I'm learning here, one piece of me is very contagious. Everybody is giving off a little one piece of them as well, because you guys are the narrators of your lives. So you got to get out there and tell it. And I love that you join in here on the conversation and share part of your life with me, and that I get to share part of my life with you guys too. It all helps us continue to connect and continue to grow. Not sure where we're at with our live stream, but we've got about 20 minutes left, and I wanted to take this last part to, of course, see what Jimmy gets. I do have a couple of little things for you. Jimmy called me on the phone, and you guys know how I love to give out blessings. So I had a couple of things here for him, but I wanted to just start out by saying thank you very much for coming. I'm going to give you this little Sanji Kabag card, and there's either some tournament money or some gas money in there for your next. And of course, you needed a play set of Ohm and a play set of Amaru.
Yeah.
And you also needed Hiyori.
Yes.
Right. One. You needed more than one Hiyori, but I had one Hiyori to give you from EBO1. I actually thought I had those little guys over here, and I don't have them over here, so I must have put them down somewhere else. But I have them for you, okay. So I'm happy to bless you with any of the extra cards that you ever need for your deck. So what are you building right now? What leader are you really looking to get into running?
Building 2 separate engines for Yamato.
Okay.
And they play very differently, but it's a way that I haven't seen it played yet.
Okay.
And it looks a lot simpler. Not simpler, but the game plan is a lot easier to like kind of pick up on.
Okay.
Instead of like having to rely heavily on like certain things.
Yeah, because we saw our fortress kind of come and go. There was ways out of fortress around it. There was a ways around the fortress of Yamato.
Like there's a like I'm working on a Sky Island engine and a Wano engine.
Okay.
And the Wano engine uses Momonosuke, which not a lot of people use. The blocker Momonosuke.
Yeah. Well, he's the 1 cost, or
no, that's the 5 cost.
Okay, so that's not the one that you can turn in. Not the searcher Momonosuke.
The blocker.
Okay.
And I'm just seeing like a lot of sustain happening, and I'm like, wow.
Bringing Yamato back.
That's not really bringing it back, but
more
like.
You weren't playing that before, though, right?
I was, but not like.
But not like this.
Not like this, no.
Okay. All right. So you're bringing it to a level where you're bringing back some of the excitement of playing it again. Mm-hmm. And hopefully, it's going to get out there and win some matches, and you can come back here and, show everybody what you're what you're running, and we'll take some photos and share that with everybody. The kids started running the Purple Red Law, and that is a crazy deck build, and really took my Nami and my Uta down. And I don't know, is there something that's going to really be able to go up against that? Because Law's hard. Purple Red is a great combo.
These engines I'm running for Yamato are like one of the best things to fight Law with.
Ooh.
So when I saw that, I was like, oh,
okay,
I can do something against this.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. It's good into like everything.
How's it going to be against Gecko Moria?
Gecko Moria is...
It's beast right now, and if you really have the skills and know how to play it, it's taking on some wins for sure, especially at our locals.
It's definitely like... I think it does well into Moria if Moria doesn't see the pieces early.
Okay.
But I think it's the Sky Island engine specifically.
Okay.
Where Moria doesn't do that well into it. Just because aggression is what Moria hates. So, and it's like super aggressive.
Okay.
And it's just like, I don't have to like, I mean, yeah, you swing big with Yamato a lot, but there's like that's all you kind of do. You swing big until you just hit a point where it's just like, now I get to just do what I was meant to do with the deck, and then you kind of win off of that.
All right, well, I'm anxious to see you play. I mean, I'm anxious to see how you do against Law, especially in the locals coming up. Won't be able to actually make locals tonight. Wah, wah, wah. I forgot I have to be somewhere else. I have a different meeting, but that's okay because we resume at the Treasure Coast Magic.
Wah, wah, wah. The thing you're going to is arguably way more important.
Yes, of course it is, but I still love to play. But I still love to play, and but again, to be continued. Whoa, to be continued on Saturday and Sunday. So I'm excited to see how some of these leaders play. Now, 07 in English is about to drop, and Boa's coming out, and Jewelry Bonnie, and Vegapunk. So we're gonna have some new leaders to play around with. And everybody's out there already, trying it out against the decks. So it'll be interesting how once they're actually in our hands and we're actually face-to-face playing them, how they work in the real life of doing those matchups and the skills that we know that our friends and players have at Treasure Coast Magic. So, of course, peace to everybody out there. You brought up another character. I'm curious if there's a love interest for Yamato.
Yamato?
Yes.
So my personal bias...
Okay.
And personal opinion, because everyone flames me for it. Just because I can see it's valid. It's just that... Okay.
I'm so excited. What is it?
I think Yamato would have gotten with Ace.
Oh, yes. And Ace was actually going to be the character that I was going to ask you about next. Because I started to think to myself... If Ace had gone out into the world and left behind a little one, or maybe left behind somebody who had a little one, whether he knew about it or not, could that come back into the future at some point in time as a write-up and as a story? And that would actually leave and hold, space where another and new generation, once One Piece has come to an end and there's all of these other spin-offs and backstories going on, would that be something that could come back around where Ace has a child out there? And I was going to ask if you thought of anybody.
So my whole take on all of that. So what a lot of people tell me that I disagree with, like Ace was kind of just like out and about being a pirate.
Yeah.
Not really caring.
Yeah.
Sleeping with multiple women.
Okay. Town to town.
Yeah. So like that's why like they're like based on that personality that he has. Mm-hmm. He wasn't getting with Yamato.
Okay.
And I'm sitting there like, I'm just coping, but like...
Again, you're giving your opinion, but you're also kind of like hopeful that maybe that is right. Like, and that's what this conversation was about too. It's like about your opinion and like who you were hoping for.
But with him like having a kid, like I don't think they're gonna do that. Just because Otis like has said, he's like, yeah, after One Piece, I'm done. Like, I've been doing this for 25 years of my life.
Yeah. Understandable.
I'm not writing
understandable.
a whole nother series. What he is doing is like like in the manga specifically, he'll do like he'll have like 0.5 chapters where they're like stories of things that people did want to see, like Ace's like whole journey going to meet Whitebeard.
Okay.
Like you see all of Ace's crew, and it's in like a different art style. There's like a whole nother artist like doing it all.
Okay.
But
I missed the free comic book day that recently came and went, and I didn't get that One Piece free comic that was out there. So bummed.
Yeah, but and they're also Oda's also doing one with Zoro.
Oh yeah,
soon, where you actually get Zoro's
backstory. So we're gonna learn a lot more still.
I'm not saying that he won't bring something up as like a flashback to like get more info.
Sure.
Like it is not considered like a spin-off, but it's just like
heck, we could get Garp's whole backstory.
We could get Garp's whole backstory.
So who do you think Garp got with way back in the day?
Dodon. That's the only person I could think of.
I was thinking Suru.
That also couldn't make sense.
Because don't we have an actual card that also came through that's like young Suru? Yeah. She was adorable with her ponytail.
Yeah, Suru was a baddie.
Yeah. So I think that could also... They had a moment too. Remember when Ace was, there at Marineford? They were down like by the... Whatever, they were standing down below where Ace was, and they were having a conversation, and, he was like... he was like, don't look at me like that. This isn't my fault. And she was like, there's been some lessons you've had to learn over the years, huh, Garp? Or something like that. It was extremely a moment where possibly somebody now who you were with or spent time with, and now you guys are older, and maybe the woman is now letting you see the errors of your ways and mistakes you've made over the years, and gives you like one of those little side moments, like I've been with you long enough to know exactly what you did wrong way back then, and maybe she was a part of it. Who knows? Maybe it was their daughter who became or was a celestial dragon, or married somebody who was a celestial. I don't know how that whole thing could work, but that's my theory on that. Anyway, this has been amazing, and I do have a couple of other little things here for you. I have been also very, very attracted to these little dice. I don't know why, but I picked up 2 green ones, probably because I'm playing Uta. So as part of, just the fun of collecting things that are shiny and colorful, I've been on this little collection of adding them to a bowl on my card deck. So I was going to let you pick which one you would like for your card playing. Stick it in your backpack, or because every time we get to play cards, sometimes we sit down, we're like, hey, can we borrow your dice? So it's always fun to have a little bit of extra special collection. Now, I couldn't remember also with these little Funko Pops that I sometimes collect. I wanted to also give one of these to you as part of your collection. Do you have those already, or are you missing one of them, or which is your favorite to add to your collection? Little Usopp or Luffy Taro? Okay, so my Luffy Taro for the next guest that comes onto the show, which I think might be one of our new friends, our new players, Justin from the shop. Do you remember Justin? He came into the shop just recently. He's been new. He's been playing, I want to say, Sabo, maybe?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what he looks like. I know who you're talking about, though.
Yeah, really nice. We love, everything about him. He's been so great and so generous, and he's a great player, and he's learning, and he's building, and we're, sharing cards with him as well. So he'll be our next guest, here on the show with us, and we'll get to, swap some more stories and get his take on some of the One Piece conversations as well.
Show that stuff to the camera a little bit.
Yeah, show it off. So cute.
So,
yeah.
A nice little
green dye.
Transparent green dye.
Just for fun.
I think the lime green's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
And then the
and if you're running green in your deck, little Usopp,
God Usopp.
God Usopp.
We love God Usopp.
We do. That was another really powerful moment in the story. When he got out there and faced Sugar.
I think his
almost on
accident,
still
his bounty picture's still the same thing.
And I wanna put just a little message out there to one of the very first guests that actually came onto the show. Not the first guest, but one of the first guests, to Gunner, who came onto the show and gave me this first 1, 2, 3 volume of the manga of One Piece, and it is my goal now, with summer coming, to head out there, get a tan, chill by the pool, think and eat and sleep all things One Piece, and get started on reading this manga. Jimmy thinks I'm going to whip through it pretty fast, so that I might actually be in current time with manga and with the show at the same time. Imagine if I can accomplish that before the year's out. So I think I started end of July, so I've got a couple months left until I hit the year anniversary mark of when did the narrator first find out about One Piece. It's still less than a year ago.
You definitely can catch up.
Yeah, but I've been balancing a lot of things.
Yeah.
So I'm doing good.
Yeah.
Everybody's proud of me when I go there and I'm like, guys, I'm in the land of Wano. They're like, yes, finish already. But that's what's awesome about all of you guys. So once again, thank you guys for joining in. One piece, one love, one piece of me. Remember to follow, and if you're not watching the show, get out there and watch it. If you're not getting the cards yet, follow me on the TikTok shop coming soon. And don't forget, I have a Patreon account. So get into that Patreon account to see some behind the scenes videos that I'm going to be popping in there for you as a singer-songwriter, music producer, and being in the music business, and the one piece of me acting as a documentary is going to give you that behind the scenes stuff. Follow along, and I hope that it's as entertaining for you guys as much as fun as I'm having for it being entertaining for you guys. I don't know if I said that right, but anyway, have a great day.